Ever feel like you're getting slammed by life, over and over again? Like the world is just testing how much you can take before you shatter? Good. That feeling? Right there. That's the pressure that forges diamonds. You think the people you look up to, the titans of industry, the multimillionaire entrepreneurs, just woke up one day with everything handed to them. Get that fairy tale out of your head. Every single one of them walked through fire, and today, we're walking through their stories. This isn't about some feel-good, fluffy motivation. This is about the raw, gritty truth of what it takes to win when you're backed into a corner. We're talking about finding that unbreakable strength when adversity is staring you right in the face. So, if you're ready to stop making excuses and start building your empire, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the absolute bulldog himself, Alex Hormozi. Today, you see the guy with the massive portfolio, the best-selling books, the 9-figure net worth. But let's rewind. Picture this. You've built a business, you're making moves, and then bam, it all comes crashing down. Hormozi found himself dead broke, sleeping on the floor of his gym, literally with no money to his name. He was in the red. He owed people money. Most people would quit. They'd crawl back to a safe job, tail between their legs. But Hormozi, he looked at his situation and didn't see failure. He saw a problem to be solved. He doubled down. He didn't have money, but he had a skill. He knew how to get clients for gyms, so he started making offers so good, people couldn't refuse them. He worked relentlessly, not for a week, not for a month, but for years. He embraced the suck. He understood that the pain of the process was the price of admission for the life he wanted. His story isn't about a magic trick. It's about pure, unadulterated work ethic when you have absolutely nothing else. It's proof that your circumstances don't define you unless you let them. Now, let's pivot to a different kind of empire builder, Cody Sanchez. You see her now, the contrarian thinker, buying up boring businesses like laundromats and car washes, teaching thousands how to achieve financial freedom. It looks so smart, so calculated, but her path wasn't a straight line. She started in finance, a world dominated by men in suits who probably underestimated her at every turn. Imagine being a woman in that high-stakes environment, facing skepticism and having to prove yourself 10 times over. She could have played their game, stayed in her lane. Instead, she took the grit and the knowledge she forged in that fire and did something completely different. She went against the grain. While everyone was chasing trendy tech startups, she was looking at the unsexy, cash-flowing businesses nobody else wanted. That's a lesson in itself. Adversity isn't just about overcoming a single event. It's about the resilience you build to see opportunities where others see roadblocks. Cody's journey teaches us that sometimes the biggest strength you can find is the courage to think for yourself and defy expectations. Don't follow the herd. Create your own path. Let's dive into the Shark Tank. It's a goldmine of adversity tales. Think about Jamie Siminoff, the creator of Ring. He walks into the tank, pours his heart out about his invention of video doorbell, and what happens? Every single shark, one by one, says, "I'm out." Mark Cuban even called it something that wouldn't go anywhere. Humiliation on national television. That's a gut punch that would knock most people out for the count. Did Jamie crawl into a hole and give up? No. He took that rejection, that public failure, and used it as rocket fuel. He knew he had a product people needed. The exposure from the show, even though it was a no, created a surge in interest. He leveraged it. He kept pushing, kept innovating, kept believing in his vision when the so-called experts told him he was wrong. And a few years later, Amazon bought Ring for over $1 billion. $1 billion. Let that sink in. The next time someone tells you your idea is stupid, or you face a massive rejection, think of Jamie's strength isn't about never getting knocked down. It's about getting back up. One more time, then you get knocked down, and proving everyone wrong. Here's another Shark Tank legend, Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. Before she became the world's youngest self-made female billionaire, she was selling fax machines door to door. Talk about a soul-crushing job. Constant rejection. Doors slammed in her face, day in and day out. But she didn't just endure it. She studied it. She learned how to handle the word no. She built up an immunity to rejection. So when she had her idea for Spanx, and every single hosiery mill told her it was a terrible idea, it didn't even faze her. She was used to it. That adversity, that daily grind of selling fax machines, was her training ground. She had no money, no connections in the fashion industry, just an idea and the grit she'd built from years of hearing no. She wrote her own patent to save money. She cold called Neiman Marcus until she got a meeting. Adversity prepared her. It gave her the tough skin she needed to bulldoze through every obstacle. Your current struggle? It's not your prison. It's your gym. It's where you're building the muscle you'll need for your future success. Let's shift gears to a story of immense personal tragedy, J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she was a single mother, clinically depressed, living on welfare, and by her own words, as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain. Without being homeless, she was, in her own estimation, the biggest failure she knew. She had a failed marriage and no job. She had every reason to give up on her dream of writing a book. The manuscript for Harry Potter was rejected by 12 different publishers, 12. Imagine pouring your entire soul into something, believing it's the one thing you're meant to do, only to be told over and over again that it's not good enough. But in that rock bottom, she found a strange freedom. When you've lost everything, you have nothing left to lose. And with nothing to lose, you're free to risk it all. That failure became the solid foundation on which she rebuilt her life. It taught her things she could never have learned in a classroom. Strength isn't the absence of pain, it's the ability to find purpose within it. Think about the world of sports. Michael Jordan, widely considered the greatest basketball player of all time. We see the championships, the highlight reels, the iconic brand. We forget he was cut from his high school varsity basketball team. Can you imagine the humiliation? But he didn't quit. He went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. Then he got to work. He used that failure as motivation to practice harder than anyone else, every single day. Throughout his career, he famously said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Adversity wasn't an obstacle for him. It was a necessary ingredient for his success. He understood that you don't learn from winning. You learn from losing. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from getting knocked down and forcing yourself to get back up. Are you letting your failures define you, or are you letting them fuel you? The choice is yours. Finally, let's talk about Colonel Sanders. You see KFC everywhere, a global fast food giant. But Harlan Sanders didn't even start franchising his chicken recipe until he was 65 years old. 65, he had been fired from dozens of jobs. His first restaurant failed. He was living off a tiny social security check. At an age when most people are retiring, he was broke. He had a choice: fade away quietly or fight. He took his recipe and his pressure cooker and hit the road. He drove across the country, sleeping in his car, going restaurant to restaurant, trying to convince people to sell his chicken. He was reportedly rejected over 1,000 times. 1,000 no's. Could you handle that? Could you keep going after the 100th rejection? The 500th? The 1,000th? He had an unwavering belief in his product and an insane level of persistence. His story is the ultimate testament that it is never, ever too late to start, and that persistence in the face of overwhelming adversity is an unstoppable force. So, what's the common thread here? It's not genius. It's not luck. It's not privilege. It's grit. It's the conscious decision to look adversity in the eye and refuse to back down. It's understanding that failure is not a final destination. It's data. It's feedback. It's a lesson. Every single person we've talked about turned their greatest struggles into their greatest strengths. So I ask you again, what are you going through right now? What's the thing that feels like it's crushing you? Stop looking at it as a roadblock. Start looking at it as your training ground. This is your Hormozy moment on the gym floor. This is your Sarah Blakely getting another door slammed in your face. This is your J.K. Rowling getting another rejection letter. This is the moment that will define you. This is the pressure that will forge you into something unbreakable. Don't run from it, run towards it. Embrace the challenge, learn the lesson, and use it to build your damn empire. Thanks for watching. If this fired you up, hit that like button, and subscribe for more no BS motivation. Now go out there and get to work. Outro music swells and fades out.